Welcome to this exciting video on solving problems using equations. Now it's really important that you follow these steps because by following the steps it helps us to solve the equation, so to actually find the solution. Let's just have a look at the steps. Number one, read the problem carefully. Sometimes underlining is a good tool to use. Number two, write down what you know. That's really important. Write it down. Number three, choose a variable such as a, b and c. Remember, we're dealing with equations. Number four, make an equation, so something you can solve. Number five, obviously solve. Number six, very important, check that the actual solution works. And number seven, state your answer in words. We're going to go through two examples. Here we go. The first one. The price of two compact discs differs by $13. Their total cost was $51. What was the price of the cheaper one? So the first thing I'm going to do is write down something I know. So I know difference, so differ is minus. So A minus B equals 13 because difference means to take away. So the big one obviously is A, and then I take away the smaller one, which is B. The other thing I know is their total, A plus B equals 51. I actually don't know how much they are at this stage, but I do know if I add them together, I'm going to get 51. So what I want to do is actually make an equation. At the moment I've got A and B, and I know I can't solve it with two different variables which I don't know the amounts. So the way I do that is actually work out one of the variables amount and then substitute it. I'll show you what I mean. So I know A minus B equals 13, so what I want to do is remove the B by working out what B equals. And so what I can do very quickly is remove the A from this side by doing the opposite. So I change the side, I change the sign, so the plus becomes a minus. And what I do to one side, I do to the other. So I minus A from the left side and the right side. So I can quickly work out what B equals. Now remember, I can't leave it as negative, so what I do is multiply everything by -1, which makes the B a positive, the 13 obviously becomes a negative, and the A becomes a plus as well. Now here's the substitution. So I can actually take that B and remove it. I'll show you what I mean. Have a look at the original equation, A plus B. So I actually know now that B equals minus 13 plus A. So I can actually take that answer, and instead of having B in the original equation, I put in what it equals. So A plus minus 13, so it's up there, plus A equals 51. So I've actually substituted or swapped in that B. Now I have to collect like terms. So I know an A plus an A, so 2 apples equals 2 apples. And obviously a positive and negatives gives me a negative. Now I can actually work it out. I can solve it. So I know that 2A minus 13 equals 51. So obviously I'm working out what A equals. So I remove, now remember I'm working backwards. So as I change the side, I change the sign. So negative 13 becomes positive 13. And what I do to one side, I have to do to the other. So that gives me 2A equals 64. So 51 plus 13 equals 64. So the last step, obviously I want to get rid of that 2 there, so I divide both sides by the 2. Remember there's a times in between there, so a times 2 divided by 2 cancels that out. 64 divided by 2 equals 32. Now don't forget, I've just worked out what A equals. I want to now work out what B equals, and that's really easy because all I have to do is B equals 51, so that total over there, minus my 32, which will give me the smaller number, so B. But there's one more step. You've got to check, does 32 plus 19 equal 51? Yes, it does. Well done. Now, remember, with working out problems in equations, it's really important that you write it down because as you write it down, it actually helps you to see and solve the solution. Once I've written it down, as you've seen before, I substituted what one of those values means by working out the answer to that value. Good luck. I'll have another example online for you.